So hello everyone and welcome to this session on academic integrity for research scholar. My name is Purna Bose and I lead the professional education services team for Turnitin South Asia. Along with me, I have my colleagues Gautam and Monish. And of course, we have the privilege of having Dr. Sumit Narula with us today. Now, as we are already aware, Dr. Narula is a well-known name in the global educator community. He's presently the working deputy in research, publications, and research at the Amity University, Gwalior. He has been working extensively in the area of academic integrity in both the national and international education space and has various research papers and journals to his credit. The core areas for his research are new media or convergence media, media research in print media, electronic media, fake news detection, peace building, and conflict resolution, and so on and so forth. He is also the editor-in-chief of the biannual Scopus indexed and UGC Care listed journals named Journal of Content, Community and Communication. He's the chairman of the recently established Center of Excellence for Detection of Fake News and Disinformation at the AUMP. A warm welcome to you, Dr. Narula, and big thank you for sparing this time for us today.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm excited to be with Turnitin always.
Thank you so much and a very warm welcome to all our participants today. So before I hand this on to Dr. Narula, I'll start a quick poll. This will kind of give us a brief understanding of who is with us today before we get on to our core presentation. So let me just launch the poll and we'll have 1 minute. This is a completely anonymous poll, so please feel free to respond as per your understanding or whatever you think is most relevant for you. So we'll have 1 minute. Already 15 seconds are gone, so please feel free to respond to the poll. I'm hoping everyone can see it. So if you have questions as you are, as we move forward to the session, please add it to the Q&A. I know a lot of you have shared some questions with us already as you have filled in the registration form. So we will try to answer definitely some of them, if not all. You can also ask some questions live, and time permitting, we'll definitely take it up. In case if you have any additional questions that you think were still not answered after the presentation and after whatever questions we can take up for today's session, please post them on the Turnitin Educator Network. My colleague will put in the link for the same in the chat box. I'll again share that at the end of the session. So please put that in, put all your queries there, and Dr. Narula will definitely respond to them as and when possible. And we can have a more meaningful discussion on 10 as well, where other researchers and educators can also comment. So the link is there. Please bookmark that link and post any further questions that you might have. So I think a lot of you have already answered. Let me end the poll and share the results. So current level of education, most of you are researchers. That's fantastic because a lot of our discussion will be academic integrity around the research process. Current level of understanding, most of you are strong, so that's extremely good. Have you ever viewed Turnitin similarity report? It seems to be a 50-50 response to that. Have you ever had an instructor discuss plagiarism and proper citation in class? Again, more or less 50-50 discussion. What best describes the rightness or wrongness of plagiarism? Again, most of you, 57%, rather half of you have said it's wrong because it is theft and fraud. However, some of you have also said that in some situations it's okay and there is nothing wrong with it. So we'll take this back to Dr. Narula and let him kind of comment on how wrong or how right is it and what can we do to prevent any repercussions that come out of it. So over to you, Dr. Narula.
Thank you, ma'am, for this poll, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's always good to be with Turnitin team because you are the masters in academic integrity, because of your software working also, and because of the work that you are doing in Turnitin Education Network. So I would tell everybody that we should become a part of Turnitin Educator Network. It is a free network, and the people like us are sitting together, and we all can sit together and discuss various points together on research academic integrity. So my presentation has many new things today. I will be showing you a small example of a cloned and a predatory journal, because some of the new journals which are there has done predatory will be shown to you, and something new is the citation cartel that I will be discussing. So citation cartel is something new which has coming up, and some of the journals which are being discontinued in the January 2020 and December 21 list were the part of the citation cartel. So what is a citation cartel? I'll just tell you in the beginning, because it is very, very important for you to understand also and to save yourself from that. So citation cartel consists of authors or journals, editors that have teamed up to increase the citations of their articles disproportionately. So they have teamed up to increase the citations of their journals as well as the articles disproportionately. They will not, they will add the citations to some of the research papers, even the research paper does not belong to that research. So that is how they keep on increasing the ranks of their journal, as well as increase the citation of their research paper, as well as their H index and the right hand index. So this is something new which is coming up in the academics all around the countries. And yes, Asian countries and European countries are the biggest one which are getting affected by them. Not every journal does that, but there are some journals which are doing it, and there are some authors and there are some publishers intentionally doing it. So that is a point of concern for us to take care of. So I will be showing you some of the examples also. Now I'm sharing my screen and will be showing you some examples of fake predatory clone and others. So I think my camera is not working properly. I am just stopping the video here, but you will be able to hear me and you will be able to see the work that I'm doing on the screen. So I will switch on the camera as and when there are questions to be answered. So the first thing I will be showing you is I'm starting from this thing. Just look at this. Journal retracts 122 papers at once. So why did this happen? Because we will read all the instances, and everything which we will do will be facts and figures based. There is no thing which I will be saying will be of any doubt. Everything which I will be telling you today will be based on facts and figures. So just read this retraction notice from the International Journal of Electrical Engineering and Education, which is a SAGE journal. So it says a SAGE journal has retracted 122 papers because of clear indicators that the submission or the peer review process for these papers was manipulated. So why it looked like that it is manipulated? Let's go to the three titles of the research papers in the journal. So the name of the journal is Electronic Engineering, but just look at these three titles. I'm zooming it for you. So the first title says, Research on the Evaluation of Urban Design from the Perspective of Public Health under the Background of COVID-19. It's an electrical engineering journal, but they're publishing this kind of paper and the title. The second one, the Rationality of Physical Fitness Evaluation Index for Cardiorespiratory Fitness in Medical System. This also does not belong to the purview of the research journal, but it got published. Third one, role of foreign direct investment as a strategic move towards growth, economic integration and development. So you can see three titles. These are just the tip of the iceberg, but there are 600 more that has to be added because of the retraction. 122 here, 3118 here, because they were given the papers of expressions of concern, and they have fired the author, editor of the journal. The editor has to be fired because it gave them a bad name, and it's a big publisher. Next story. Springer Nature Geosciences Journal retracts 44 articles filled with gibberish. It was a gibberish. Springer Nature has retracted 44 papers from a journal in the Middle East after determining they were rubbish. You can see that the retraction followed the flagging of more than 400 papers by the publisher for concern about serious research integrity breaches in the articles. Those concerns were first surfaced by commenter on peer. You can imagine that what kind of problems are coming up in the arena of research because of the research integrity. People are not working for that, but it is very, very important for us and for everybody to have a research integrity during their research. Now I will show you a couple of examples of a clone journal. And I will also show you what is a clone journal. And then I will also show you what is a predatory journal, what is a clone and predatory impact factor. And I'll give you the small examples because we have to cover everything in 1 hour and 30 minutes and so on. So my presentation is like that. So here it is. I'm going full screen. So clone journal web pages are a counterfeit mirror of an authentic journal that exploit the title and ISN of legitimate journals. In contrast to predatory journals, clone journals are more likely to accept papers from authors since they have developed as a mirror image of reputable journals, including their domain. Some of these counterfeit journals actively chase authors through a modified email message that announces a fake call for papers in the current issue of the journal. Authors may be duped by these solicitations into paying an open access publication fees, trusting that their work is about to be published in a reputable journal. So you think that you're publishing an open access journal, and in every open access journal, you have to pay some fees. You pay them the money, but at the end of the day, it's a fraud journal, which does not have any reality in it. The website is wrong, the people are fraud, but your money and research is wrong. That is an example of a clone journal. I will show you 2 or 3 live examples. At the moment in India, through the UGC website, I can see we have got 83 clone journals in the market, surfacing and asking for money and publishing papers, taking that money. So predatory journals and publishers are the same. Predatory publishing is called write-only publishing or deceptive publishing. It is the work of deception. They deceive you. It is an exploitative publishing business model that involves charging publication fees to authors without checking articles for quality and legitimacy. They will not provide any other editorial and publishing services, and they will publish your paper in 24 to 48 hours, which is next to impossible in a good journal. They are regarded as predatory because scholars are tricked into publishing with them, although some authors may be aware that the journal is of poor quality. New scholars from developing countries are said to be especially at risk. According to one study, your articles will never get any citation if you publish in a predatory journal, because the people who are publishing good research papers, they know that citing a paper from a predatory journal will cost them their own study also. So we will be discussing the reference management also, and the questions of that, how to save your paper from the desk rejection and what to do to have the selection of your paper at the end of the workshop. But reference management is a part of it, that you need to have citation. Everywhere there are rankings being affected by citation. That is why the birth of citation cartel was there. But I will be clearing your doubts on good citations and how to take over the citation, how to see the citations, and how to give your paper to all for good citations. So we will be discussing that also. So wrong impact factor. Let's discuss the impact factor in 1 minute. JCR is by Clarivate, which gives the impact factor. So Elsevier gives you the site score. So the difference is JCR gives you yearly impact factor, site score is monthly by Elsevier. They both have different formulas. So if any journal says that it is having an impact factor, it should be indexed in Clarivate Analysis Web of Science. If it is not in Web of Science, it cannot give you any kind of impact factor. So it is very, very important for you to understand, if a journal speaks about impact factor, you need to check that into the databases of Clarivate. If it is not there, that means it is giving you fake impact factor. There are companies which are giving the fake impact factor through the Google Scholar indexing, and Google Scholar indexing has nothing new in it. It has no algorithm. And I will just show you in examples also that Google Scholar is sometimes showing us the useless papers, and by mistake, we are adding them in our references. So there are a lot of examples that I will be showing you live today. So some of the important links. We have also developed a course with the Taylor University in Malaysia. So that course is a very, very important course. You can do that course. It is for free. I'm opening it if it opens there, the website. So that is how to catch fake predatory clone journals in academic at Taylor's University in Malaysia. At the moment, the website is under maintenance. That is why you can see it is not here, but after some time, it will be available to all. So this is the one course that you can do, which has the specific information about this. Then we have been covered by the Times Higher Education. Jack Group has spoken to me, and we have kind of estimated the amount of millions of dollars which have been siphoning off from India because we are paying to clone journals. So you can have this story, also very interesting story, where they have given the live examples of the journals. And hijacked journals are also the new level of thing, when the website is being hijacked, and for 3 months somebody else runs the website. And this is also a new level of you can see new level of theft in academics, the hijacking. Then the last one is the business standard story, where they have also covered us through South Asian countries part. Here it is. The menace of predatory clone journals more rampant in post-pandemic world. And there are victims from South Asian countries, particularly India, because India is the biggest publisher in terms of predatory journals and in terms of predatory research papers. So that is a kind of stigma with us right now at the moment, that people are saying that there is a lot more predatory research coming up from India. UGC is doing a lot. I will be speaking on the UGC working also. They are doing a bit, and we have to see that how we can help them and how we can work together with the UGC team here in India. So coming back to the presentation. So this is our own journal, Journal of Content, Community and Communication. It is a Scopus Index journal. At the moment, we are at number 259 out of 426 in communication category. And in India, we are at number 3. Media Watch is not there, so we can say that we are at number 2 and like that. So this is the email helpline that we have started for all the research scholars all over India and the Asian countries, cdfnd@gwa.amity.edu. You can write to us and we will get back to you in 48 hours about any research query. About any research query, about any journal on this planet Earth, we will search it for you. We will give you the right and the the best information about that journal. So cdfnd@gwa.amity.edu is the email ID. So 15 crucial points, one by one. I'll be just quickly browsing them. Most fake predatory clone journals will not have any submission deadlines. I will show you the examples. They will always charge money. Charging money is not bad. Charging money upfront is bad. Most of them will be having multiple journals. They have clone website. 6th point is very, very important. Google indexing is very easy. There is no science involved in it. And it is not useful anywhere in academics, but it gives you more citations. So if somebody says that his paper is Google Scholar indexed or his journal is Google Scholar indexed, yes, it can be. There is no science involved in it. It has no relevance in academics, but yes, you can have some more citation if you are looking for Google Scholar. But now people are abstaining from getting into the Google Scholar. So what we have to do, always check the UGC care list in India, Scopus data and Web of Science. You can also check the making of the website. That is also easy. There will be no contact details on these fraud journals. The editors will be, the names are given the fraud ones. If it is an open access journal, we will always look for the DOAJ stamp. That is very, very important, Directory of Open Access Journal. Then you need to have a DOI number. I'll show you that why DOI number is very, very important, because as and when you use any reference management software, be it EndNote, be it Mendeley, you need to have the DOI number with you. This ORCID ID is also very, very important. It is a kind of a number, alphanumeric number, which gives you more visibility. And it is very, very important for you to have the ORCID ID. Most of the international journals are now integrating the ORCID ID with your research publications. And usually these fake predatory clone journals will run through Gmail accounts. I am not against Gmail, but I do not like if a journal is running with a personal account. You need to have an official account to run an official journal. So I will now be going for an example of a clone journal. So let's go to this journal. So now if you look at the website is fine. The website is looking like an original website, but the problem is there that this website is a fraud website and we have to catch it. There are 10 steps that I will do on a website and that will prove that it is a fraud journal. Now, what should be the first point? First point is to go to the contact details. When you click on the contact details, you will see nothing. You don't know who these people are. Second point, they're running with a Gmail ID. I've just told you that they will be running with a Gmail ID. Third point, we will go to the editorial board and you will see these names. We do not know who these people are. Their official email IDs are not here. Their pictures are not here. So even these people doesn't know that their name has been misused here. Fourth point, you go to the call for paper, you will see all the areas. A journal cannot be a multidisciplinary journal. Please be very, very carefully use the word multidisciplinary. It is interdisciplinary. Journal can have interdisciplinary paper. It cannot have multidisciplinary paper. It is very, very difficult. I think in the databases, there are not even 1 or 2 research journals which are multidisciplinary. You can have interdisciplinary. So if you look at the call for paper, you will see all the areas. A journal cannot cover all these areas. And then you see this blank space in the website. So it's not a properly maintained website. Then you go to the home, you will see certain new things there. They say that it's a peer-reviewed, referred, open access, and monthly journal. And then they say the UGC Care Group, Indian research scholars are their specific targets. They want to review the Indian research. And we will see the impact after 3-4 years when everybody will have published by mistake in cloned journals. And will ask for increments, jobs, and whatnot. I will be showing the UGC links also, that UGC has also given us a kind of letter of caution that we should not publish with clone journal. If we publish with clone journal, we are on our own. So that is why these cloned websites mark UGC Care Group 2 here, because we are their target. Indian research scholars, Indian researchers are their target. And when you scroll down, you will see the submission last date throughout the year, which is not right. Publication fees is 3,000, acceptance status is blind peer review, frequency is 12 issues, areas covered multidisciplinary. Usually international journals will have the last date throughout the year. But in these journals, they are misusing that concept of the throughout year. And then you scroll down, more errors. This index copernicus is the biggest culprit in the history of citation. So index copernicus, if as and when you see the logo of index copernicus, be very, very careful that there is something wrong. And when you scroll down, more wrong information about this journal, they say that they're in ABASCO or they are in other databases, or they are not, because this is not the original website. Then you see the current issue. When you see the current issue, if you look at some of the papers, just look at some of the papers. Representation of Assami woman through proverbs in Assami language, then something in Paul Marsh's novel, then something Mitra Fukon's collector. So anything, they publish anything. And specifically, they are targeting the southeastern nation, countries, states in India. And if you see them, there are blank spaces again in the website. Right? So then direct link to UGC Care. Yes, it is in UGC Care Group 2, but this is not the website. Now, how to check it? For that, we will go to the Scopus databases. You can enter the Scopus databases without buying it. For the buying, you need to have the university subscription, but you can simply enter the Scopus databases with your Gmail ID. So you sign in, create account, which is a free account. You will not be able to download anything, but you will be able to see through many things with this free account. So sign in. I'm signing in. I am using my university access at the moment to show you more information, but you can enter with your Gmail ID, like I have my Gmail ID. So I'm entering. One example will clear you many doubts into the area of clone journals, that how they are fooling the entire education system in the region. We go to sources. Here we type the name OT. It will be self-populated by Scopus because it is a Scopus index journal, self-populated. It's a philosophy journal. They said that it is multidisciplinary. So you can see that the errors are there with that website. You can see the publisher is from Italy. If you click on source homepage from here, you click on source homepage, and it will take you to the original website, which is in Italy, publishing in Italian language. So this is how they're fooling the entire education system in the Asian country. So this is the original website. What we saw was the clone website, OT and OT. And this is how you have to check the journal. If it is in Web of Science, go to Web of Science. If it is here, go here. I will show you one more example. There are 83. I will give you the list. So this is again a Belgium journal published from Belgium, but this is a cloned website of that journal. Now, what are the biggest things that you have to see? You have to just see these 6 things. As and when you see these 6 things in any of the journal, 110%, it's a cloned journal. So at the moment, Agium is a cloned journal. This is a cloned website. The original website is in Belgium, publishing in Belgian language from Belgium. Now I will take you to the UGC Care. And there is this list, group 1 and group 2. And we can discuss more about this in the 10 network. You can put your questions in 10 also, the Turnitin Educator Network that I use frequently for answering all the queries. So this is the list, group 1 and group 2, and you can have this list with you, which will give you the number and the names of the clone journals. On the left-hand side are the cloned ones, on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side are the original one, on the right-hand side are the cloned ones. So at the moment, there are 45 international journals being cloned by various people, and you can save yourself from having this list and publishing with the clone journal. Now, coming to the topic of predatory, I will just show you one unique example of a predatory journal. That is the European Journal of Molecular and Clinical Medicine. Basically, it's a medical journal. But once you elaborate, once you see that journal, again, you will see that there are some problems. So now the first thing is the website is original. There is no replica. This is original website. So it is a predatory journal. In clone, the website is fake website. So in predatory, we will go to now contact us. The website is original. They will also not give you the information. So this is the main problem with these kind of people, that they will never give you the full information about themselves. So you do not know who these people are. And you can see they are in UK, but the email ID is editor.ejmcm21@gmail.com. So they can't even have the organizational email ID. This is very, very weird. And once you go to the journal info, you go to the editorial board, the countries which they want to target, they take people from there. The names, the pseudonames. We do not know who is Dr. AP Singh from India. We do not know who is Dr. M. Naruddin. We do not know any picture. No, everything is through Gmail. So they are targeting these countries, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Sudan, India, and then they take the names from those countries and put there, so that the people of these countries, they will say that, okay, the people from our country are here, so let's publish with them. So how it's a predatory journal? So basically, it's the European Journal of Molecular, should publish the papers of molecular and clinical medicines. But if you publish Bombay Stock Exchange here, you will see the papers of Bombay Stock Exchange here, which is a kind of very, very shocking thing to see that a journal publishing the papers of Bombay Stock Exchange in molecular and clinical medicine. So if you see the purview, for checking the purview, we will go to the Scopus again, and it will tell us the purview or the subject area. So we will type the name here, European Journal of Molecular and Clinical Medicine. So once we go to this journal, you will see the purview, the subject area. The subject area will be sciences, the medicine and all. But they are publishing the papers of Bombay Stock Exchange. Why? Because they have turned predatory. Predatory means they will publish your paper in 48 hours, take a hefty amount from your pocket, and they will not even read your research and publish it. And once I have done some of the analysis of these research papers, most of the research papers are also useless. And some are plagiarized and fabricated also, because they know that they are into a poor journal, so they give them poor research. And at the end of the day, when the Scopus databases comes to know about it, they will remove all the papers. Just look at the subject area. It is immunology, biochemistry, genetics, and all. And once you click on the content coverage, you will see all the papers have been removed. They will stay there on the website, your reputation and everything. But at the end of the day, they will not enter the website. If by mistake they have entered, they will be thrown out once again, because they are fabricated, plagiarized, and whatnot. So the website you can see is original, but at the end of the day, Scopus tells us that the area is immunology. So the papers does not belong to them, and that is why. So you can have a discontinued list also. The discontinued list has been released by them in January 2022. I will be sharing that also in that TAN network for more discussion. Now we will go to the area of plagiarism. That is very, very important for us to understand. Plagiarism is bad. Rather, the consequences are also very, very bad. So I will be showing you the guidelines of the UGC here in India, where you can see the penalties. These are the original ones. So I will be sharing this document also with you, so you can see the penalties. So the penalties are like level 1, similarities about above 10 to 40%. Such students shall be asked to submit a revised script within a stipulated time period, not extending 6 months. If their similarity is about 40 to 60%, such students shall be debarred from submitting a revised subscript for a period of 1 year. If similarities are above 60%, such student registration for that period shall be cancelled. So this is very, very painful. I'm highlighting it for you, everybody, the research scholars, and I will be showing you the penalties for faculties and higher authorities also. So if your similarities are more than 60%, it will be cancelled. So now penalties in case of plagiarism in academic and research publication. So you can see the level of similarities above 10 to 40, withdraw. 40 to 60, denied 1 annual increment, and they will not supervise. More than 60 shall be denied to work to write to 2 successive annual increments, and shall not be allowed to be supervisor to any master's, MPhil, PhD student scholar for a period of 3 years. And then there are repeated also. I will be sharing their document. Poonam ma'am, in the meanwhile, can you just put a quiz on the plagiarism that we have decided to just see the basic information of our participant?
Sure, sure.
So there will be a quiz on plagiarism for you for 1 minute, and I think there are 6 to 7 questions. And just see this quiz, and let's see and test each other's knowledge on that. Just go for that.
Can everyone see the poll?
Yes, ma'am. I think they can see it.
Okay.
At least 50% of them has to participate. Okay, so now we can have that results.
All right, so I'll end the poll and I'll share the
Yeah,
results.
you can end.
And Dr. Narula can discuss the correct answer. So the first one was, which of the following is not an example?
Is not an example of.
I think most of them have got it correct, which is providing the full source for a quotation.
Quotation.
Is it acceptable to copy and paste a sentence written by someone else into your paper and simply add quotation marks around it, of course, to avoid plagiarism? I believe the correct answer is false, but Dr. Narula, if you want to add it there.
Yeah. It is false, yes, because this quotation marks can be used, but not on the pretext of misusing somebody else's content. I will be showing you the example of a paper where you can see the torture phrases. Torture phrases is a dubious writing style emerging in science. So this is a paper published in France where they have given us a list of torture words. If you see these torture words as an editor-in-chief in a journal, I have to check it. That means the paper has been written by a bot, or somebody has given it the paraphrasing, the quotation mark that we have just discussed. You can see the torture phrases, a dubious writing style emerging in science, and these are the torture words. On the left-hand side, profound neural organization is deep neural network, which is the correct wording expected. But with the usage of the softwares, with the usage of the citation, with the usage of the quotations, and with the usage of software like Spinboard and all, you are doing the left-hand side thing. But at the end of the day, you're caught because we need the right hand, the correct wording expected. So new research is now opening new gates, new avenues into that. Now we can catch you through this also, if you're trying to fool the entire education system like that. So the second answer is, ma'am, false is right.
Right.
Third, if you forget to cite a source in your paper, that is still plagiarism. 110% of plagiarism. You cannot forget. I'll just give an exercise. I'll do that exercise in front of you so that you should not forget. I will be doing it after the question answer.
All right.
Plagiarism is a major concern. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead with the question.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that for if you forget to cite, so Turnitin has a tool called Draft Coach. So that actually helps you figure out if you've forgotten a citation or a reference, it will highlight that for you for a paper. So we do have tools, but yes, if you forget, it is plagiarism. Plagiarism is a major concern only in education. Most people have given false.
It is always everywhere, the plagiarism in the ICAR area and other areas also. So yeah.
Even though no one may be harmed by it, plagiarism is still unethical. Absolutely true, I guess.
Yes.
Which of the following requires citation? So when I include my own ideas that are unique to the paper I'm writing, I believe you don't need it. When I refer to my papers that had been previously written, yes, I think 72% has answered.
110%. So most of the people have the basic information about the plagiarism. So the only concern at the moment is to how to avoid it and how to take care of the plagiarism, not to enter into the databases. Before that, I will just close the topic of cloned. I will be going to Google Scholar, which is the favorite of everybody to take the papers. So if we go to Google Scholars, this is Google Scholar, and this is how you catch or you take the papers out of them. But if a journal is a predatory or as well as a cloned journal, this will not tell you. So now I have shown you the ought journal, which was a cloned one. I'll click on ought here, and you will see the papers of ought, which are not from the original website. So this paper, Sum of Powers of Natural Numbers, is from the ought cloned journal. and it has been cited by 8 people. So now these 8 peoples are also at risk of getting a retraction of their original paper because they have cited a cloned paper. Why? Because this sum of powers of natural numbers, if we read it carefully, will have some kind of errors in them. And once this paper is retracted, or because it has published in a cloned website, that means these 8 citations are also going to have the damage. They do have to bear the brunt of that. So it is very, very important for you to wisely use Google Scholars for your papers. So this is only one example. There are a plethora of research papers sitting in Google Scholars, corrupting your basic research. So now how to go for good research papers? Go to the journal websites, go to the Scopus databases, or go to the Web of Science databases, or go to the ABDC or any category you would like to go for. But Google Scholar is having no tool or algorithm at the moment to remove the database of a cloned journal into the database, because everything which is online is indexed in Google Scholar. So you can see people are citing the papers of a cloned journal. The citations here, right? So I close the topic of cloning and here. The next, I was thinking about giving you more information on plagiarism, because reference management is also very, very important for us to understand. So I am going to the software Mendeley, which is a very, very unique and free software for you to use for the reference management. And reference management, once you do good reference management, 110% your papers will not be desk rejected. There can be other reasons of rejection, but desk rejection is not one of the reasons. So this is the Mendeley tool. I have opened it on myself. You will get a free database of 2.5 GB, and when you enter your account into that, and then you click on the library, you will see the research papers related to your research, which you have added into that library, which is the digital, what do you say, the server or digital database of your research paper. So this is the database it is opening up. These are some of the research paper I have added for my research, which I will be doing in the time. So these are some of the papers. Now, how to integrate that into our research is a 1-minute step. I will go to the Word. I'll open up the new file. And when I open up the new file, I'll click on Insert here. When you click on Insert here, there is Get Add-ins. When you click on Get Add-ins here, it will take you to appsource.microsoft.com, and it will give you free add-in. You can add that free add-ins with your Microsoft Word. It should be an updated Microsoft Word. So I will add Get It Now, the Mendeley site. When I click on Get It Now Mendeley site, it should be added to my Microsoft Word free of cost automatically. After clicking that, I will once again go to my Word, and I'll click on references here. When I click on references here, it should show on the right hand side. It should show on the right hand side Mendeley site. It is not there at the moment, so I will go again. I'll click it here, Get It Now, and I will enter my official email ID. And after a minute or a 2 minute, you will see that it has been added into my Microsoft Word. And now I can add all my Microsoft Word papers with the Mendeley papers. And I can write better, and I can give better references, and I can avoid plagiarism from the first line of my writing. So meanwhile, it is getting updated. I'll just go to the Word again. Insert my add-ins. I'll just check if it is here, because I have edited before the. Okay, it is there. I got it. Now I click here. When I click here, it will be automatically logged in, and all my papers will come on my right, which are there. So you can see now all the papers which I have shown you in my digital library are there on my right hand side. So now how to save yourself and how to do the best writing practices is, like, I am writing something on the digital media. So I'm writing just simply writing digital media digital media has become a very important tool for students' engagement into the studies. So I have written this line and I have understood this line from the first paper. Important. So I've understood this line from this first paper. I click it here, insert one citation, which is Sharma et al. This would be in text. So Sharma et al. Will come here. Right? So second line, full stop will not be here. Full stop will be here. No, second line. Second line I have read through on the second paper on Twitter mining. So I'm writing Twitter mining is also an important tool in Indian education system. I have taken this line from here, insert one citation, and it is here. Full stop. Now, then you can say, you can also say that where is the bibliography? Bibliography will also come. So now I have taken something from the third line, third research paper. India is a great country and will continue to be so in the times to come. This line I have taken from the third research paper. This line I have taken from the third research paper. Here, click it here, insert one citation. So I have got 3 citations and now I need the bibliography. I will use the word enter here, enter. Now click on more here, insert bibliography, and you will see the bibliography at the location of your cursor, which is here. Click continue, and here is your bibliography. So now at the end of the first para, you got your bibliography as well as your in-text citation. But to do that, you need to have the related papers into your database, around 50 to 60. And then you can start writing and can give them citations. These citations and reference management will help you a lot. And 110%, I'm sure that paper will not be desk rejected and you will not be caught into the error of plagiarism because you're giving the maximum citations available with you. So that is very, very important for you to have that add-in. For that, you go to insert, go to get add-ins, take this Mendeley site add-in, go to references. It should be there on your right, and then all the papers should come on your right. So after references now, I will also be showing you the UGC details. So UGC details, they have this website and they have also released this book. I am putting the name of this, I'm putting the name, the link of this book, you can download it. So this is basically a book on academic and research integrity. And some of the chapters are there, which are very interesting for you to read and understand. So that is academic integrity and research quality in India. So I'm putting this link in the chat box. So you can download for everyone. Okay, here is a link for everyone. You can download this book. Right. I will also be showing you the this link also, the academic regulation of Government of India. I am putting that in the chat box. Please download it and read them thoroughly. For the question, if you can answer them, because I can see in the chat box they're asking for something from your side on the Turnitin. You and Monish can take 5 minutes. Then I will also be showing some more data from my side.
Yeah, sure. Mr. Mansoor, just to answer your question, so today we are more focusing on Dr. Narula sharing his insights with us. However, to give you an idea, Turnitin has both integrity solutions as well as assessment solutions. We do have our dedicated webinars and sessions which gives details demos of those kind of products. What I'll request you is if you could write to us at southasiaps@turnitin.com and let us know um, what kind of product or which product you are probably interested in getting more details. We'll be happy to share the details of those sessions.
Right, right. So
And
I have
my
shown.
colleague has given the link to the email address. So please feel free to write there. We have sessions lined up every month, and can direct you to that session, which will specifically give a detailed demo of a particular product. But if you have any specific questions of a particular product, please put that in a Q&A box, and I'll be happy to answer that right away. Thank you.
Okay. So research scholars were asking the question which I have got on my profile, that how to go for the sample, how to go for the sample. So I will give you that software, G star power software. You need to explore that software for your sample size. It is a free software and can help you a lot in getting to a good sample. So this is a free software, or you can have this. There is one more software, not the software, one more thing that we use for the sampling was, I just forgot the name. It was there in my diary. So, okay, sample calculator. Yeah, here it is. Sample size calculator from Qualtrics. So you can also have this. You can see that, you can explore it. They will give you the information in around 30 seconds. Like if your confidence level is 95%, population size is 10,000 and margin of error is 5%, the ideal sample size is 370. So you can use this also. There is an ebook also from them and you can read it and you can go for your sample size. The another question research scholars usually ask that to have the hypothesis or not the hypothesis. Sometimes hypothesis is not important in social sciences. So every research scholar in social sciences will not have the hypothesis. They will have the research questions to be answered. So that is also a very, very important point for us to understand, that do not run after hypothesis H0 and H1 in social sciences. In social sciences, it is not much required. So that was the question that they usually ask for the research scholar. And then from the ethical point of view, it is very, very important to save yourself from plagiarism. Do not use the plagiarism at all. It will take some time for you to understand that how to write, how to go for good writing skills. But it is very, very important for you to have that writing skills at an early age. Otherwise, even if your paper are being caught after 4 or 5 years after your publication, even then it can be retracted and there can be losses to your academic integrity, even if you have just got your degree and nobody knows about it. But sometimes sooner or later, it might get into the into the eyes of anybody, those who are checking these data. And then we have the COPE guidelines also. These are the universal guidelines into the predatory publishing. You can download this. They have given 30 insightful suggestions to tackle, avoid, and raise awareness of the problems of predatory journals. So this is their free document. I am again putting this document into the chat box so that as and when you have time, you can read their document also. Right, and then I have spoken about the open access. So open access is also very, very important for you to understand where to pay, where not to pay, because every time there's a question on APC and all. So the APC does not say that you have to pay or you will pay, your paper will publish. So I'll just give you a brief example. Our Journal of Content, Community and Communication is a platinum or a gold platinum open access journal, not gold, platinum open access journal, where we do not charge anything and you are freely able to download any paper. And our DOI is always working. So most of the fraud journals, their DOI will never work. So how you can check the DOI? You go to doi.org to check that number, because it makes your paper machine readable. So how do you get your paper machine readable? How we make it? We go to apps.crossref.org, which is a paid service. and then you make it like that. This is our journal, abbreviations, the DUI and all. So this cross-reference gives you, because we pay them the money to have that. So the predatory journals will give you the DUI, but their DUI will never be read here. So how to do that? Check the DUI here, submit, and it will take you to the original paper, because they have made your paper machine readable and machine is reading your paper, which is we doing, which we are doing in our journal, which is a platinum open access journal in Amity University. The only journal at the moment that we have is in Scopus is this journal, and it is in UCK list 2 also. And then if you go to a gold access journal, there are many. I can show you an emerald journal. So emerald journal, you can see it is a gold open access journal where you can see that APC is written upfront, but giving APC doesn't mean that your paper will be selected and published. This will happen only after the peer review report. If it is good, only then they will ask you for the APC. Somebody was writing that the APC gives you chances to publish more. No, APC will not give you more chances to publish. Rather, it is very, very important for you to understand the concept that usually journals like Emerald and other bigger brands will never take the APC if your paper is not selected. So it is the moment, and it is a moment of checking for us that APC means that you have to pay, but it doesn't mean that your paper will be published. So now what happens with the Gold Open Access Journal? You have paid to them, your paper is published. As a matter of fact, as a researcher, I will be able to freely download your research paper. While what will happen that I will go to any journal, I go to this journal issue 2. Now I can download any research paper which is of my need, because the lock is open and you has paid that fees for my downloading. So that is the gold open access journal. And then we have the hybrid also, where they will ask you whether you want to go to open access or you want to go into a simple one. So that is the point that you have to understand. If somebody is asking for the money, please check that they should give you the voucher. Who has that journal, whether they are of international repute or not. Beware from the stand-alone publishers. Stand-alone publishers basically misuse the concept of the clone journal. So there is a publisher like IAEME publisher. It is from Chennai and published around thousands of research journals and research papers. Now all the journals have been thrown out. So online publication within 6 hours they are doing, and they are the frauds. And they have also launched the Scope database, which is the exact replica of the Scopus one. So just look at the scope. I think there is some legal also there. The Scopus has given them a legal notice also. But if you go to the Scope database, it is just looking like a similar one to the database of what do you say, the Scopus one. And they have started giving paper, journals. What do you say? The indexing. So a lot of new things are coming up for you to catch and to ponder upon to see. And the next thing that we also discussed was the ORCID ID. That is very, very important. Everybody should have that ORCID ID. It is free, and I'm also having that. So your research will be added with your ORCID ID onto your account, as and when you publish a paper with any of the international journal, they will automatically add it. So that is very, very important for you to have that. Right, that's my ORCID ID. And then you need to understand the open access policies. Then you can go to Sherpa Romeo list of the journals. They will give you the open access policies of all the journals around the world, which are from the reputed publishers. And then we have the DOAJ also, Directory of Open Access Journal. For that, I'm very, very excited, because they check very, very critically. If you go to apply here into their application form, they'll check the journals very, very critically. And if the journals complies with all these things, only then it will get into the open access journal list. But the problem with them is that they do not have the analysis. They can have the analysis of the journal and their policies and their licenses and their business model, but they do not have the analysis of the research paper that they're publishing. So they can have predatory journals in them. So it is your responsibility to check it, that whether this can be predatory journal or a good journal. But at the moment, they will tell you very, very carefully that it is a DOAJ access journal, which is Directory of Open Access. And they have these policy on the website That is why they will only give the DOAJ stamp to a particular journal. So at the moment, if you go to search and if you go to journals, they will have around 17,000, I suppose, 17,484 index journal by the DOAJ. So if a journal says that it is a DOAJ index journal, you can search the name here at their website. And if you click this filter without the APC, so at the moment they are having around 12,000 open access journals which do not charge any APC. So you have to see whether these journals are indexed in Scopus or Web of Science or anywhere else. But at the moment they are in DOAJ and they do not charge APC. And you can go through the subject also. So if you can see, we can go into the subject of any subject like social sciences, which is my core area. So I can see at the moment there are 2,400 open access journals which do not charge any APC. And they are recognized by DOAJ, which is a very, very impactful agency to check all the details. So at the moment, it doesn't matter that you have to pay, you have to carefully check that whom you are paying and why you are paying. So if you know these 2,400 journals are there and open access and not charging anything, you can clearly save yourself from paying into wrong journals. Right. So, ma'am, my full 1 hour is there. So let's have some questions. I'm switching on the
Yeah,
camera.
sure.
Yes.
So we'll first go to some of the questions we have received through our registration form, although I know that Dr. Narula has already answered most of them. But let me go through them anyways, and Dr. Narula, you can add anything if you have think something is not answered, and then we can take up some of the live questions. So the first one we had is, what are the golden rules for writing research papers that will not get rejected in Scopus or other places? How do we choose the right kind of methodology for research?
So it is a very big answer that they need. I will give you the 5 basic. The first is the reference should be good. Reference management should be good. It should not have used the plagiarized content. The introduction should be written in a very crisp manner. And you must see that what is the expectations of a journal. Go to the website of that journal. If it is a very high level journal, their expectations are different than the other journals. Write as per their guidelines and then submit to them. Otherwise, if you submit to them, your paper might stay there for 3 months or even 4 months. They will not be able to see it and reply to you. But at the end of the day, it is rejected even after 4 months. That's rejected. So that is very, very important for you to go to that journal which belongs to your area and where you understand that they will give you the right answer at the moment and quickly and the right moment. Nowadays, the journals are following good guidelines and mostly they give you the answers by 15 days or 1 month. So to avoid the rejection, you need to write in a very crisp manner. It should not be plagiarized again, and it should have the best references available and to the latest references and some of the references of the same journal. So I should ask you, like, if you publish in a journal and you do not cite that journal, so what is the usage of publishing in that journal? Because you haven't got any paper about your research from that journal. So that journal will always think that why you didn't get it, because you never searched on that journal. You wanted to publish with that journal. So it is very, very important to cite that journal also where you are publishing or where you want to publish your research paper, because this will give the impact to the research journal also that people are reading their journal. And this will also give them the confidence that this is kind of the point that we are looking for. But at the end of the day, they very, very important for you to write well in a crisp manner and as per the journal guidelines.
Wonderful. I think the second.
This is the shortest answer I can give.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I've been kind of sharing the link to 10. So if you think you have more specific questions or need some more inputs from Dr. Narula or even from, other participants that we have around us, you can definitely connect on 10 and share your thoughts there. So the next one, so what we have done is basically try to club most of the questions we have received and kind of have the broad level ones here. So I think there were a lot of questions around how to identify whether the journal is genuine or fake. So I believe Dr. Narula has already covered that in detail.
There are a couple of workshops also on YouTube. You search my name and a couple of the tricks that I have used are there free available on YouTube. You can go to there or you can follow me on LinkedIn. I will be having some more workshops so you can attend there where we will be specifically working for that for 2 hours.
Wonderful. There was a question on what is meant by impact factor of a journal.
So impact factor is usually given by the Clarivate analysis, and they tells us the impact of that journal in that particular area. Like my journal is Journal of Content, Community and Communication. So I have the site score at the moment, which is zero point 0.9 given by Scopus. So I am impacting the research very, very less into the area of communication. If I have go up, it will be rising up to 1, then 3, then 7. So impact factor of the journal plays an important role for publishing, and some journals in sciences is having an impact factor of 100 plus, but in social sciences it is very, very difficult even to reach up to the impact factor of 5. So zero point 0.9 at the moment might be less, but it will keep on increasing, and if you reach up to the level of 4, 5 and 7, this is going to be one of the best journal in the entire world in the area of communication. So impact factor plays an important role, and impact factor, I am clearing it again, is being given by Clarivate only. No agency else can give the impact factor. Scopus or elsewhere will give you the site score. So if a journal is speaking about the impact factor, it should be given by the Clarivate only. Rest assured that all other agencies are dubious and misleading. We have recently got a copyright also where we have got 8 points to catch dubious and misleading company, and in that we have seen that they use the Google Scholar Index to give you any figure. So like there is a company named ISI, International Scientific Association, something like that. So you pay to them, they will pay you any impact factor. You pay them some money, they will give you 8.9, 9.7. So any kind of impact factor can be given to some of the journals because they use the wrong methodology. So that is very, very important for you to understand that from where you are taking that impact factor and which is that journal and the agency. Or rest, you can write to us on our email ID. I am putting that email ID in the chat box. So we will get back to you about that journal's impact factor. It is there in the chat box.
Okay, wonderful. Then the next question is, what are the problems faced by the researchers at the data analysis stage?
So the problems at the data analysis is that you might go to data fabrication, or you might go to data, or what do you say, data duplication. So it is very, very important for you to understand what is your sample size and what is your area of research. You are going for qualitative. If you're going for qualitative, go for NVivo 12 or Atlas.TI or MaxQuada. If you are into the quantitative, you have to go for SPSS, Smart PLS, or other related software. So that is very, very important for you to understand which is your data, qualitative or quantitative. So it is very, very important to understand in the beginning only that you are going for this kind of data and you will be looking for this kind of software. Because the software, the data analysis is getting tricky, and it is not very much expected in the PhDs and in the research paper that you analyze your data through analyze your data without the software. It is very, very important for you to have the command on the software that you are looking for, and you have to have the command on the softwares of reference management also, which are mainly EndNote and Citavi 6. And the same command is expected from the research scholars to have in the area of your research publication, be it Smart PLS, be it NVivo 12, or any other related software, which I might have forgotten the name. But you need to have that command, and you need to know that from where you are fetching that data and how you are evaluating that data. And that has to be doubly sure that somebody with you, like your friend or colleague, sit with you, and he also has to perform the same test. You need to work on the raw data again and again so that there is no error while somebody else is checking. We usually ask for the raw data before publishing into our journal.
All right. The next question was around predatory journals. And I believe, again, you have shared a lot of already information on how to detect that. So we can probably not get into it once more.
So predatory is fine. There are 2 points in predatory. I'll just repeat. Go to the contact details. They will publish out of the purview research paper. They will ask you for 40,000, 20,000, 30,000. And usually they will give you the paper in 24 and 48 hours. So predatory journals are like, I've shown you the example, which has happened with Sage, what has happened with Springer. Bigger journals are also being caught unaware of that. Predatory journals are now targeting everybody. And usually they are into the databases and they misuse those databases and usually being thrown out. And at the end of the day, nobody gets any benefits in publishing into the databases because you never get any citation. So be very, very careful while publishing in a pediatric journal. And rest, I can give you more information. You can write to us on the website where I will be giving. We have also got the copyright. This technique, we have also got it copyright. We got 4 or 5 copyrights in the recent times in the same area. And we will be sharing those data with you that how you can catch them on your own before it's getting predatory. And the outlier behavior is in 2020, they published 35 papers. In 2025, in 2021, they published 500 papers. So 35 to 500 is a big difference that they are doing. And this is the difference which is making them an outlier. So you can see the outlier behavior is sometimes also a concern. And it is a kind of the thing that we think that in a predatory journal that they publish large number of research papers in a shorter period of time.
Wonderful. The next one is around what are the different citation methods and what is the impact of citation in index journals like Scopus or UGC peer-reviewed journals?
Citation references, we can say the references are different types. IEEE is for engineering, then APA, then MLA, then related. Now, how do you cite your paper is up to you, that what are the citations you are looking for. Yes, if you do not have citations in your research paper, it will not be it will not be told as a good research paper. You need to have more and more citations into your research paper, and usually every line or almost every second or third line should has to be cited once you're writing your research paper. I just cannot show you my updated paper. It has gone for third review. It will be very soon in a journal which is indexed in all the databases, where if I can show you, you can see even the first line has also been started from a citation. So there are different styles. You have to follow any style which you would like to, you want to follow. But citations plays a very, very important role in getting your paper published in an international level journal of repute of ABDCA category. You can go to any category, or SSCI or Web of Science or Scopus Q1. Citations plays an integral part.
All right. The next one says, is it possible that one person has already approved his synopsis and someone else published a research paper on the same topic?
Can you repeat? Somebody has?
So someone has already approved his synopsis and someone else published a research paper on the same.
So now who is online first will be given the credit, but you can simply write and mail to them, and this is a theft of IPR. So if it is approved through your name and you are the one who are the main author or the approver, and somebody else has published, so you need to enter the detail that how he can publish your research before your permission. And this is simply a case of academic integrity, that one should not publish somebody else's research. If somebody has approved that research, how can he publish a research paper on that? Either you both are working together, or he got your research through unlawful means. So this is a major concern in academic integrity also, that we should discuss, that somebody should not take somebody else's material without the written permission, or you should have the joint authorship into that project.
All right. Then we have, is the citation metric the true representation of quality and ground-based research?
It's a kind of not the true, but I say, yes, it is a kind of, citations are kind of something that we follow to see that who is following whom and who is writing what. So if there is no mechanism, then it will be very difficult for us to understand that who is writing and from where we can get good research papers. So if I'm reading a journal of cleaner production or human computer interaction or related journals, so I usually see that what is the site score of that journal, that who are following them. So it's not the best mechanism, but at the moment it is a right mechanism to follow some of the research paths.
All right. Then there's a question on best ways to use Turnitin solutions in research paper and dissertation publication. And Dr. Narula, your experience or advice?
I'm quite good with Turnitin, and we usually use it in our university also. So Turnitin gives you an ample opportunities to see that where there are marks, where it is online. I usually answer to the people. Sometimes people say that now they have published in a cloned journal or they're published in a predatory journal. They want to republish it somewhere else. I tell them that you just cannot republish it somewhere else, because once the paper is online, Turnitin will catch you. So it is the software which is catching everybody who is doing this cheating thing in academic integrity. So we do not have to defeat the software. We have to learn the usage of software. We have to learn our techniques so that we can write well. So the software is there to help us. So usually it is not that the software is catching you. You are doing some of the blunders in the research. You're writing some of the things which has to be citing. And once you use it properly, it will remove the citations and your papers will not be caught into the plagiarism because you are giving citation and the software is giving you that command to save your research. And do not put your software's research into cloud so that once again you add your paper, it will show 100%. Because of our own errors, we are not deliberating on the software, we are not using it, they are not workshops on the software, they are doing the product workshops. But we think that they are for the sale purposes, we do not attend. And universities, I'll just show you the guidelines. This is the responsibility of the HEI, Higher Education Institution Responsibility. Here it is. Just look at those guidelines. It is the higher education responsibility to give you the information about the usage of plagiarism softwares. We are doing it on our own, but this is the case. That is why we are unable to use the softwares to the maximum output. Just look at this. These are the penalties, and before penalties, IAP and DAP, it is their responsibility. Just look at this. The DAP shall follow the principles of natural justice. Report bhi banani hai. They have to do a lot to do in that. Everything is there. So this is the government of India's gadget and the notification also there. Here it is. You can see train student, faculty and staff are using presentation solve. It is the duty of the higher education also.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we can take some live questions. We do have some time now. So
there I think plenty of questions you are asking, you're replying also, but
yeah.
Some was raising hand.
Yeah, someone wants to ask. So there was one question on paraphrasing. So someone wanted to know, understand.
So you can't do the paraphrase. You have to write in your own language. No, strict no to paraphrase. I'll just show you a document, an important document. I'll just forget to show you. I have downloaded it for everybody. So it's a unique document. Yeah, here it is. Turnitin white paper on the PDF mode. Here it is. I will be sharing it with you. Very interesting document. Everybody should read it. It has all the example of plagiarism with the conclusion, with the recommendation and the definition. Very, very interesting document. Right. So I will be sharing this document with you. And here you can see the problem of paraphrasing also being given. This is original, unoriginal. Find, replace, Control C. When we use Control C. And then remix, recycle, we cannot do. Hybrid, mashup, error, aggregator, retweet, and the cloning one also. So very interesting document. I will be sharing with everybody. So paraphrasing, please do not do it. Write in your own language. I just shown you how I'm writing in my own language. So write down the papers on your right in Mendeley, start writing and keep on giving them the citations. You have to write in your own language. Yeah.
All right. So there's a question from Rakhi Sangale. She's asking, for PhD thesis, how much references should be there in bibliography? Approximate number which is good enough, and how to find journal of your domain. She says my domain is forensic accounting.
Forensic accounting, yeah. So you have to go into the forensic accounting. You have to put the word forensic accounting in your databases of Scopus or Web of Science, and then you can see the papers. In your thesis, I think there are 200 references, more than enough, because this is kind of something unique that you're doing. But in social sciences, apart from references, we do the other added things also. Bibliography also, that what we have taken from the websites. And I think For in my thesis, it was around 400-500 at that time, 10 years ago in 20. I did my PhD in 2011, so 11 years ago, it was around, you can say, 400 to 500 are expected. We are expecting in a research paper around 50 plus research papers in a research paper. So in your thesis, there are 5 chapters, so I can expect around 350 references minimum that you have taken, and they can be more also, and it varies from subject to subject. But as of the social sciences expert, and I've evaluated some of the theses, I start from the references. So I go from the references side, and I usually check the references first, and then I see that whether the thesis is good or not. So I think 350 is the answer from my side, alphabetically given.
All right. Mr. Nitin Pagar is asking, what is the difference between abstracting and indexing?
Abstracting is like your abstract is there in the databases. Indexing is your journal or your full paper has been indexed. So abstracting, some journals just give the abstract, not the full papers for everybody. Some journals which are gold open access are, or the platinum open access gives the full paper. So abstracting and indexing are different things. We usually go for the journal indexing, and we usually see the abstract of that paper. In Mendeley also, we add the abstract of that full paper, because the full paper sometimes is not available with everybody. So there is a difference between abstracting and indexing, and you need to see that what is the, in what point of view you are looking at that thing. So if you're looking from a general point of view, you need to go into the indexing. If you're looking from the abstract point of view, you need to look at the research paper. Both are different.
Okay, then we have a question from Loyola. Instead of targeting journals, can we plan for publications by publishers instead?
The publishers will give you journals only. So what are the publishers giving you? They are giving you the books. You can go for an ISBN book, but that too from the good publishers, not from standalone publishers, which are there in the Ravens, like Krishna Publication or any other names like that. You need to see that what are their area and how are they publishing, and whether there is any checks on them or not. So it is the next level of problem which is coming up in fake books, predatory publishers, predatory books, and predatory conferences. I couldn't touch upon the area of conferences. Conferences are also getting very, very predatory, and you need to carefully check the conferences. And yesterday I have called up one of my colleagues. I saw that on LinkedIn. He has published somewhere, and the data was published in the Scope database, and he proudly mentioned it on LinkedIn. I just called him and told that to take it down, because you cannot publicize your by mistake predatory research or unawareness into the research on the LinkedIn platform, where more people will laugh at Indian research. So that is the cause of concern for us also, that we must propagate good research publication, good research ethics, and good research publishers, those who are doing well and those who are giving us good benefits while publishing with them. So that is also one of our responsibility. And yes, as and when if you have a publisher in your mind, you can write to us. We'll get back to you about that publisher with our detailed analysis on that. We have our Center for Detection of Fake News and Disinformation. I'm a Google certified fact checker and a trainer. And I took my training in December 2019 in Asia Pacific headquarters of Google in Singapore. And from there, I was catching a fake news. I shifted myself into this area. And at the moment, we have got a lot of journals and a lot of cloned as well as predatory journals. And they might be targeting us also, but that's not the case that we should stop. And we will be helping everybody in catching and getting save themselves and their research from these predatory as well as cloned journals. And research academic and this integrity is also very, very important. Plagiarism should not be done, and we must avoid that.
All right. So there's one question from Zainab Jahangir. He's asking, what about Ekpyrosis Press? Is it authentic or predatory?
Which one, ma'am?
Ekpyrosis, EKPYROSI.
No, I'm not sure about that. Sorry, I will not be able to answer. I have to check it only, then I can answer it.
So I think you have already shown them how to check it. So please go ahead and check and let us know if you have any further questions.
So if it is a journal, the same things that you have to, if it's a software, I have to spend some time on that. to comment upon that.
Right. Mr. Rahul Singhal is asking, how can we access the Clarivate list for the impact factor?
So that is free on their website. Go to the Web of Science, MJL, that is called the Master Journal List. With that, there is a GCR list, Journal Citation Report. It is free. You can download it, and it is free. No issues in that. So for that, you can go to, I'll just share my screen once again. We'll go to the MJL Clarivate. Here it is. And here it is. Go to downloads. You have to log in. You can log in with your free account. I had created my free account. I'm logged in with my free account, which is through the Gmail. You will not be able to download the research papers and the other related data, but you will be able to download. You will be able to see the names of the journal, and you will be able to verify a clone journal from here also. Sometimes they misuse the original websites of Web of Science and made the clone journals. So you can check it there also. You can click on downloads, and here it is, JCR 2021. And you can download it. Very easy. Nothing is difficult in this world nowadays. So here it is, JCR 21, June 30. That's it. Right. 4 attendees has raised their hands. So
okay, we can kind of allow them to speak if that's.
Let's allow somebody, because I would also like to hear to somebody.
Sure, sure. So we have Nisha Ahuja. I'm just allowing you to speak. You can speak, ma'am.
Go ahead, Nisha. Nisha Ahuja.
No.
Okay, maybe
then we have Dr.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Nisha.
Yeah, actually, I have written I'm writing my thesis. So in that case, like I have 5 chapters, but like I have related references as well as the references which are just exactly related to the topic. So can I include both the references or?
Definitely. One will be the main references. Another one will be the secondary sources.
Okay, so both are allowed, huh?
Both are allowed. It's better to have secondary sources also to be told, because you haven't mentioned them in your research, but you have read it.
Yeah.
And
just
they play a vital role.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Right, Nisha. Thank you.
All right. So Dr. Viranjay.
Dr. Viranjay. Yeah, Dr. Viranjan. Okay, he might not be available. And
we have Pavitra V. Ravi. Can you speak?
Hello, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sir, I'm currently writing my thesis. So I have quite a number of papers. How to reduce self-plagiarism, sir?
You have quite a number of papers. And what was the next thing you said?
How to reduce self-plagiarism.
You have written a lot of papers. Okay,
Yeah.
how to reduce self-plagiarism. So there is a big letter on self-plagiarism by the UGC. You need to be carefully see that we should not self-plagiarize. So you have to write in your own language something new. Because how many papers you have that you are thinking to be citing in your own thesis?
6.
6, you can do it. No issues.
But the similar content.
Of
I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you can continue, sir.
So 6 paper, that it's not a big number. You are writing 500 papers, 500 pages, and around more than that sometimes. So you can utilize your own research into that also. But do not use all the 6. If you want, you can use 3 or 4. So you can use 3 to 4 papers of your own. It is good to have the research done by you before you publishing for the thesis.
Okay, sir. But the experimental results and all, we can't much modify, right?
Yeah, you can't much modify. You have to cite it as the same as they are.
Okay. Okay, so thank you
so
so
go for
much.
three papers which are very, very effectively used.
Okay, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mitra.
All right, Mr. YLP Thorani.
So very good afternoon, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Your session is a very informative and very interesting, sir. Sir, I want to
Thank you.
publish in high-end journals, but the main thing is how to improve my writing skills in order to publish my articles in that.
To improve your writing skills, you have to read good journals. If you're reading a very good research paper, highlight it and understand that what are the points you're looking from that journal. And once you have this in your mind that what is your area in which you want to write, start writing something like I've shown you in the Mendeley thing. Add Mendeley to your word and start writing your own language and start giving citations. Once you make a rough draft of your paper, of a rough half para, it will give you confidence. When you see your para of 15 lines with 10 good citations in them, your confidence will come up. And then you will be realizing that you can start with the B category or a Q3 category or an ESCI index journals, and then you can follow up with your rhythm of writing to better journals. To start with, you have to start with the lower journals where you can uh, also give, if there is an error also, they will not just desk reject your paper, just simply seeing it. So writing is a skill that will evolve in you with time. You just cannot be a good writer from day one. So I still get rejections. One of my paper has got rejected yesterday only before the presentation. So it's not that we don't write well. We do not write up to the level of the editor-in-chief of that particular journal which we were targeting. So this keeps on going on. This is a practice that you keep on doing. And for research scholars, if they're writing, start from the introduction part, more and more citations and more paper you have read, more and more writing skills will increase. I'm a journalist also, I'm from the media department. I say to my students, read newspapers only to write a story. Otherwise, you will not be able to write a story if you do not read any newspaper. So for researchers, read good research. And if you're not able to read good research, you will not be able to write good research at all.
Thank you, sir. That means in the mentally or cited, no, sir. That means we have to go through the
Mendeley is a good tool. Yes, Mendeley is a
Yeah.
good tool, and you can. I'm giving Mendeley as reference because they give you free data for 2.5 GB. So if you go to EndNote, which is by Clarivate, you have to buy that software for 12,000 rupees, which is not an easy thing for us to buy. So they're giving us a free software. So that is why if you add some of the papers of your interest into your digital library, and then if you start writing, these papers can also be cited side by side. And then if you go to the calculation part, you have the threshold values with you. If you are into the AVE or the other values that you Kornbeckel for Latin, or if you are in NVivo, you have the threshold values with you for the word cloud and the other things. And if you are at VOS viewer, where you're doing the co-citation work, and if you're doing the bibliometric analysis. So if you have all the threshold values with you, everything read by you, you will be able to crack to bigger journals. I haven't been published to A and A. I've been to B only and to the Scopus and other Web of Science. I am also targeting, and the same is for everybody, that we should target good journals and good areas.
So the tool what you have shown there itself, can we open the full length paper or only the title of the page we can rewrite?
If
or
it's a gold open access paper, if it is a gold open access paper or a free paper, you can open the full paper there. If it is the abstract only, you will be able to see the abstract only. So it will depend upon the journals list, journals area, that how they are showing that paper to everybody.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right. We have Swati Jogi.
Yes, Swati, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Swati, go ahead.
Swati, can you hear us? Okay. Anu Prasad. Would you like to take up your question?
Hello, I'm Anu. I'm from DU. I'm writing a
Yes,
paper
ma'am.
in Hindi and Sanskrit mixed language.
Hanji.
So I wanted to ask that Turnitin can access, because right now we are using Check for Flag. It's an Indian software, but DU everybody is over into Turnitin. So does Turnitin going for Hindi or Sanskrit language also?
Turnitin, I don't think so. I think Mohanish will be able to, or Poonam ma'am from your side. I don't think so. You have Hindi and Sanskrit thing in software.
Yeah, so we've added Hindi as part of the translated matching feature, ma'am. So if you're using translated content from Hindi, then that will be picked up, but not Sanskrit as yet. So I did mention our email address. So if you could connect with us there, and then we will be happy to provide you with any further details on that.
Ma'am, because Check for Flag also gives for Kruti Dev, I mean non-Unicode, but no other software is giving. So it is a very big task for us to do plagiarism
Yeah,
for
you
any
reply to
other
them. You email to
regional
them.
language.
You email to them.
Okay,
So yeah, you email to them.
okay,
They'll
sir.
get back to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Swati Yogi, are you back?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead, Swati.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. My question is like I have wrote the thesis and I want to extract some review papers from my thesis. So I can copy some lines from my thesis and can I cite my thesis also in my review papers?
Yeah. You can cite your thesis. There are citations available for thesis, published, unpublished, both. But you
And can
just
I
I
copy?
don't
Yeah.
don't paraphrase it as it like that. Try to write in different language.
Actually, sir, I want to write, the results, exactly the results from my thesis. So it is little bit difficult for me to rewrite again. So can you suggest me something?
Because once you go into the software, the results will be picked up. If it's your thesis on Shodh Ganga, the results will be picked up from there. So they'll catch it from there. So you need to change a bit of that to understand more, and you have to bring some more ideas into that result after your PhD. So you just cannot publish your results as it is uh, into your research paper. They will be picked up.
Okay, sir.
If
And
it
my
is
last
on,
question.
if your
Yeah.
thesis is online, if it is not
Yes, sir.
online, then it will not be.
Okay. And my last question is like there is Scholar One manuscript that some journals are following.
Some
We
are,
can
yeah,
trust. Yeah. So we can trust
yeah.
on
Trust,
Scholar One.
you can trust. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Scholar One also, and MC Manuscript also. These are the companies that they are doing the work with the journals. Every time it's not easy to run a journal manually, so they use this software, Scholar One. It's a good
Okay.
one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
But you need to check the journal.
Yes,
Scholar
sir.
One can be bought by a predatory one also. But usually predatory do not do Scholar One because it's a costly software and the only concern is earning money. So predatory journals will not use these kind of software usually.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Right, Swati.
All right, so maybe we'll have time to take up a couple of more questions. So Mr. Zainab Jahangir.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead, Janab.
Okay, sir, I have a question regarding a conversion of my thesis into research paper. So how would I do that? Should I rewrite it or can I just extract it from my thesis?
I just answered it. You just cannot extract as it is. There is something that you have to do related to that, which should look different. But yes, it is the extended version of your thesis. Like my area was role of conflict resolution, role of electronic media in conflict resolution in 21st century. That was my PhD. So electronic media is radio and television only, and conflict resolution of two conflicts only. That was terrorism and riots. Now I can expand into the economic conflicts also, into the cyber conflicts also, and other related conflicts also. So you must expand your research from the thesis where you left. You just cannot publish as it is because it will be, because I, as an editor in chief, I have to check it, and once I check it on Turnitin and the thesis in Shodh Ganga, it will be the same one for me. So that is a point.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have Prutha Shah. who has raised hand.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Putha, go
Good
ahead.
afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. So it was very useful lecture. Thank you so much. Sir, I just wanted to ask that so I am currently doing PhD and about to finish my first year. So it is very difficult for us to sort out that which of, like, as you said in the whole lecture, that which are clone journals, predatory journal. So it is very difficult for us that if we want to publish our paper or so, it is, we don't get that whether it is like fake or predatory or clone. So also I wanted to know that can you please provide us a list particular except of Scopus, and also how much time does it generally take when we give our paper for publication? And had that 2-3 doubts, so just wanted to ask that.
Usually people ask me for that list. I have no list at the moment. I check the predatory and the clone thing in that. I do not have the original list. It's a very, very big plethora of list if I would like to make
Okay.
it. You simply share the name of the journal you would like to verify, do it for you. And you have to search the journals of your area. For that, you need to have the access to Scopus or to the Web of Science databases.
Okay.
In the keyword, put the name of your research, and the papers related to that will come in front of you. I'll just do this exercise. It is very, very important for the research scholars to have this exercise to be shown to you. So for that, we will go to the Scopus databases. We'll go to sources. And here you can see the subject area also. And other thing, you can see the title, you can see publisher, ISN. If you go to search here, now I can show you the related search that we can do. So you can search through documents, affiliation, author. So now give me the keyword. Give me the keyword.
Like any.
Give me the keyword. I will just do a simple search in front of you from where you can see that how many papers are being published, which are in Scopus databases at the moment related to that keyword.
Okay.
Or,
like,
yeah,
we can name any, for example, cosmetic industry. So can we like get
cosmetic? Now, wherever that word is used, you will see that there are 15,000 documents at the moment.
Okay.
We will simplify it more. We'll go back, and this time we will put it into the quotation marks. So specifically, where it is used, it will come and the number will be reduced. Basically, we do this in the bibliometric analysis. So you can see only 6,000. We can reduce it to more. So this is how you keep on searching, and then you can see on the right hand side are the sources in which journal it has published. So like some people are asking for the forensics, accounting forensics, so they have to put the word like that and they have to search it.
Okay.
And there is advanced document search also.
Yeah.
Right? Here they said cosmetic and industry. Now it is cosmetic industry.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Usually you have to do this exercise to get to the good papers or to the good journals, and then you can download the papers or the abstract and add them into or export them into the Mendeley, and Mendeley then you can keep on writing. So it's not an easy thing, but you can do it in 6-7 months of hard work, and sitting constantly on these softwares and learning new things will help you. And attending some of the workshops on mixed method or smart PLS or VOS viewer. There are a lot of plethora of workshops at the moment going on online, and you can attend any of them.
Okay. And so how much time does it generally take when we give our paper for publication in Scopus journals?
It varies from journal to journal. Scopus does not take any time. The time is taken by the journal itself. Once the paper is live on the website, it will be taken by Scopus in 15 days. Scopus has no right in rejecting also. So it depends upon the website, and website usually takes the time. Like my journal, December edition is released in December 2021. By January, it was online. But now there will be 6 months of break. Next edition will come in June 2022.
Okay.
So journal usually takes time. You have to read that what is the process and what is the timeline of that particular journal. Ours is a biannual journal. We take 6 months. Some are into four editions in a year. They'll take 3 months. Some takes 1 month. But you need to carefully see that should not take 24 or 48 hours. that means it's a poor journal.
Okay, okay. Sir, it was a request, ma'am. Please, can you please send the recording of the whole session so that
I think it will be sent to all, and we
Thank
are will be giving you the certificates also, attendance certificate to everybody in around
Okay.
15-20 days.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So Dr. Narula, do we have time for one more question?
Yes, ma'am, we can take one more question.
Okay. Dr. Ashutosh Kaur, I believe your hand was up for some time. Do you want to speak, sir?
Yeah, I'm audible.
I know Ashutosh sir.
Yes,
Ashutosh sir is a well-known name. Sir, go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. I thought I'm a beginner, still crawling stage. But my question is about different products of Turnitin. One is we can give a students for a Turnitin student version. Is it valid for the students? They can do their work their own, or we need to check their regularized things for our university.
Yeah. So
Turnitin, Poorna ma'am can. Yes,
yeah,
Poorna.
Sure, sir. So for Turnitin, there are various products that we have that can help students. So to answer your question, no, you don't need to check it on behalf of students. So we have the Turnitin Feedback Studio, which actually lets you create a classroom workflow. So the instructor can create a class, create an assignment, and then students can directly submit to those assignments. They have the chance of checking the similarity report also, if of course the instructor allows them to. The settings are available for the instructor. There is one more tool that is available exclusively for students, but right now it can be integrated with Google Docs or MS Word for Web. So if your institute has a institutional license or a Google Suite or a MS Word license, then it can be enabled for students. That's called Draft Coach, which actually lets them check for similarity. It gives them 3 chances to check for similarity. It lets them check for citations and references. So, one of the common mistakes, and I think we discussed, is people forget to cite. So those can be picked up by the tool. And also it has a grammar checking feature. The grammar checking is actually much beyond what you get with MS Word or probably with your Google Docs, because it is more of a formative exercise where the tool prompts the student to correct, and it kind of gives them hints, so that not only are they correcting their work, they're also learning the language in the process. So those are available. Depending on which tool you are using, say if you're using Authenticate or even Similarity, you can create a folder where students can submit their papers. So if you need a demonstration of any particular product, or if you're looking at more information, kindly write to us at southasiaps@turnitin.com, and I can either get into a Zoom call with you to explain, or can guide you to a session whereby we'll be providing a full product demo.
Yeah, I will talk to my management and come back to you on this.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. So I think
before we close, there is a small video of 5 minutes, which
go ahead,
yeah, just on that. You just have to tell me, ma'am, whether if you can hear it or not.
Yes, we can hear it.
I'm playing it. It is, we have recently been covered by India TV and Aaj Tak and other related channels. So this is a very interesting video for everybody to see. Please see it once.
So the sound is not there anymore. It was there, but now it's not coming.
युवाओं के सपने से खेलने का नया जरिया सामने आया है। फर्जी जर्नल और फर्जी रिसर्च पेपर छात्रों।
It was there, ma'am.
Yes, it's working.
I just change the sharing. Change the sharing setting. So I'll stop share and share screen, and in the more I will share computer sound, share optimize screen for video clip. Okay, I've done it. I'll read it now.
Yes.
युवाओं के सपने से खेलने का नया जरिया सामने आया है। फर्जी जर्नल और फर्जी रिसर्च पेपर छात्रों को धोखा देकर पैसे बेचने का तरीका बनता जा रहा है। जर्नल के नाम पर जो खेल हो रहा है उसे समझना बेहद जरूरी है, क्योंकि ये खेल युवाओं के भविष्य के साथ साथ उनकी जेब से भी हो रहा है। पर ये खेल हो कैसे रहा है, ये समझने के लिए पहले जान लीजिए कि ये जर्नल एक खास तरह की पत्रिका होती है, जिसमें किसी खास विषय से जुड़े रिसर्च पेपर्स छपते हैं। पीएचडी करने वाले छात्रों के लिए कम से कम 2 रिसर्च पेपर जर्नल में छपवाना जरूरी होता है, तभी यूजीसी छात्रों को पीएचडी की डिग्री देता है। यूजीसी यानी यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रांट कमीशन ने जिन जर्नल को मान्यता दी है, रिसर्च पेपर उसी जर्नल में छपना चाहिए। यूजीसी के इसी नियम का फायदा कुछ जालसाज उठाते जा रहे हैं। असल में जर्नल्स में रिसर्च पेपर छपवाना मुश्किल होता है, पूरी जांच परख के बाद ही पेपर छपते हैं। प्रक्रिया लंबी होती है। यहीं पर कुछ जालसाज छात्रों को शॉर्टकट का लालच देते हैं। कुछ हजार रुपए के एवज में जर्नल में रिसर्च पेपर छपवाने का भरोसा दिलाते हैं और कई बार छात्र इनके झांसे में भी फंस जाते हैं।
जैसा एक नकली वेबसाइट बना लेते हैं, तो आपको लगता है कि आप नकली वेबसाइट को ओरिजिनल समझ के काम करना शुरू कर देते हैं और आपको लगता है कि आपका पेपर बहुत अच्छे जर्नल में पब्लिश हो गया और आपको बहुत अच्छी शोध कर ली और आपको लाइफ में बहुत आगे जाने का मौका मिलेगा, लेकिन ऐसा होता नहीं है।
ये ऐसे जर्नल होते हैं जिनकी वेबसाइट पर अगर आप जाएं तो न तो इनका कोई पता मिलेगा और न ही इनकी संपादकीय टीम की कोई जानकारी होगी। इसीलिए ये ऑनलाइन दिख तो जाएंगे, पर इन्हें ट्रैक करना मुश्किल होता है और खुद छात्र से तहकीकात तक नहीं हो पाती। इसका फायदा उठाते हुए ये वेबसाइट्स किसी भी तरह का रिसर्च छापने का ऑफर देते हैं और रिसर्च छापने के एवज में पैसे वसूलते हैं। लेकिन छात्रों को ये बाद में समझ आता है कि यहाँ छपी रिसर्च का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है, क्योंकि उन्हें यूजीसी मान्यता ही नहीं देगा।
ये जो क्लोन्ड और प्रीडेटरी जर्नल्स है, 1 घंटे में, कई बार आधे घंटे में आपका पेपर पब्लिश कर देते हैं। आप इनको पेपर भेजें, इनको मेल करके भेज दीजिए कि हमें पैसे फटाफट देने को तैयार हैं। जैसे आप इनको पैसे देंगे, बिना पढ़े आपका पेपर पब्लिश कर देंगे और फिर जब आप उसको जाकर चेक करोगे, वो एक क्लोन्ड वेबसाइट पे होगा और जब यूनिवर्सिटी अथॉरिटी डिग्री देने के लिए आपका पेपर चेक करेगी ओरिजिनल वेबसाइट पे, वहां वो पढ़ा ही नहीं होगा।
फर्जी या क्लोन्ड जर्नल पर लगाम लगाने के लिए यूजीसी केयर बनाया गया है, जहां क्लोन जर्नल की जानकारी दी जाती है और मांगी जाती है, लेकिन इनकी तादाद इतनी ज्यादा है कि सभी का पता लगाना आसान नहीं है। फिर भी अगर छात्र थोड़ी सावधानी बरते तो वो बच सकते हैं।
ये एक जर्नल है जिसका नाम है ऑट। ये ऑट जर्नल की जो वेबसाइट है, ये इस वेबसाइट पे ही आपको कमियां मिल जाएंगी। चोर आपको यही बैठा हुआ मिल जाएगा वेबसाइट पर। अब पकड़ना कैसे है, इसमें गलतियां क्या हैं? सबसे पहले देखिए, आप जब कॉन्टैक्ट डिटेल्स में जाएंगे, यहाँ आपको किसी का आता पता नहीं मिलेगा। आपको पता ही नहीं है ये कौन लोग हैं, इनके बारे में कोई एड्रेस ही नहीं है। और यही आप किसी ओरिजिनल जर्नल पे जाएंगे, आपको सारी चीजें कॉन्टैक्ट अस में मिल जाएंगी। दूसरी चीज, आप एडिटोरियल बोर्ड में जाएंगे, नकली नाम दिए होते हैं। इन लोगों को खुद नहीं पता होता कि इनके नाम यहाँ पर है। ये देखिए, कट कॉपी पेस्ट करके ओरिजिनल ईमेल आईडीज यहाँ पे है ही नहीं उनके, तो उन लोगों को भी नहीं पता कि उनका नाम यहाँ पे लगा दिया गया है।
जर्नल में रिसर्च पेपर छापने का झांसा देकर छात्रों से हजारों रुपए वसूले जाते हैं। नकली लेटर भी इशू किए जाते हैं, लेकिन इसका भारी नुकसान छात्रों को ही उठाना पड़ता है। रिसर्च पेपर का ये खेल छात्रों के साथ शिक्षकों के करियर के लिए भी घातक है। आपको बता दें कि कॉलेज में शिक्षक की नौकरी पाने के लिए एपीआई यानी एकेडमिक परफॉर्मेंस इंडेक्स बहुत अहम होता है। एपीआई के लिए जर्नल में रिसर्च पेपर छपना बहुत जरूरी होता है। इसी के आधार पर उनको इंटरव्यू में पॉइंट्स मिलते हैं। इसके अलावा शिक्षकों के प्रमोशन भी एपीआई के आधार पर ही होते हैं। यूजीसी ने जर्नल में आर्टिकल छपवाने की प्रक्रिया हाई क्वालिटी रिसर्च के लिए की है, लेकिन कुछ लोगों ने इसे मुनाफे का धंधा बना लिया। हालांकि इसका दोहरा नुकसान है।
साफ तौर पर शायद यही वजह है कि इंटरनेशनली जब रिसर्च देखा जाता है भारत को, तब उसमें साइटेशन ना के बराबर होता है। यानी इंडिया के रिसर्च को विदेशों में तकरीबन 3% सिर्फ साइटेशन है। तो साफ तौर पर अंदाजा लगाइए कि किस तरह से ये फ्रॉडस्टर्स, ये जालसाज, ये शोध के शिकारी शोध को डेंट कर रहे हैं।
अगर रिसर्च करने वाले छात्र सावधान रहे और जर्नल की वेबसाइट को बारीकी से देखें और समझें, तो इस फर्जीवाड़े से बचा जा सकता है। अगर आपको भी किसी फर्जी जर्नल की जानकारी मिलती है तो जरूर उसकी जानकारी यूजीसी को दें। इससे छात्रों के साथ होने वाला धोखा रोका जा सकेगा। दिल्ली से राम किंकर सिंह के साथ ब्यूरो रिपोर्ट, गुड न्यूज टुडे।
Right, so this was the video. I wanted to show that now everybody is getting aware of the impact of this. Media is also coming up and news channels are also catching it. So now it is our turn. It is a turn of the faculties and research scholars sitting together attending to help each other. As and when you found any of this cloned or a predatory journal, you can write to the UGC also. I'll share that link with you. That's my responsibility to tell you about the UGC also. So here it is. You click on contact here, and you will see that there is a form which says report cloned journal. Please report them the cloned journal. You can also ask them about the paper published in discontinued journal. You can also ask about the status of the journal to them. So UGC might not give you the reply at once, but it is our right to ask them and go for that. And once you go to the home page, there is also discontinued list by them. So if you click here, and if you you have to log in, everybody has to log in. It's a simple login process. So I'm logging in, and they also issue a predatory as well as a discontinued list. Here is the latest delist journals from group 2, which are international journal. They might have been Scopus, but they have been removed by the UGC care too. Why? Because they have received several complaints about several journals, which are not following the standard publication practices. Scopus might take them the time, but UGC never took any time, and they discontinued these 8 journals. Like the Turkish physiotherapy, it was a predatory journal. This is a very, very big example of a predatory journal. Then this Roop Katha and the other related journals. And then once you click on the left-hand side, group 1, recently discontinued journals. So they have a list of group 1, 14 journals have been removed because of the unethical practices. Kalas Rover is the culprit, which published whatever they wanted to publish. So these journals are under the red flag, and who gives them the information? People like us, like you, gives them the information, and they take action on that. So that is very, very important for us to have a look at it and to stay updated. Although I am adding these data into the 10 network also. So the latest data I will also be adding into the 10 network. But your own responsibility also comes that you should check it frequently. Poonam ma'am.
Thank you so much for the wonderful session, Dr. Narula, and of course, sharing your insights. I hope our participants have found it very helpful, and we are definitely know that from the positive feedback that we have receiving on the chat box. So I will be posting this recording on 10 as well, and please access it. I'll share the link. If you have questions, I know there were a few questions which could not take up today because of the time.
Yes, there are a plethora of questions, but yes, please come on 10 and we'll have one more discussion together, and
absolutely.
I will be trying to answer almost every question. I really don't want to left any question unanswered, but this is the paucity of time. I also have, my kids are waiting, so I also have to go somewhere. So because it's a Saturday, and so that is why. So I will be in touch with everybody, and let's answer the queries there at 10.
Yeah, and we will organize another live session very soon with Dr. Narula. But in the meanwhile, let's use 10 to get our queries responded. Thank you to the participants again. Thanks, Monish. Thanks, Gautam. Have a good rest of the day and a good weekend. Thank you, everyone, and bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Monish, and thank you, Gautam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Chetali ma'am also.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good day.
Thank you.